To the SEC, the first two teams that we covered. Looking at Week 14, your SEC title game scenarios are as follows. Georgia needs a loss by Bama or Texas A&M to get in. If Bama wins at Auburn, they're in the title game. Texas A&M needs a win or losses by both Bama and Ole Miss, while Ole Miss needs to win at Mississippi State and losses by both Alabama and A&M. Listen, I'm confused as all outdoors. We just go hand it off to Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit for more.
Well, in the SEC, an intriguing weekend. Last year, the Longhorns beat the Aggies, propelled them to the SEC championship game. Now for the Aggies on the road in Austin, they win in their end.
Yeah, and I think Texas took advantage of that last weekend prior to getting ready for A&M against Arkansas by getting their offense humming. They were able to run the football. Arch Manning had a huge game, and I think they gained a lot of confidence prior to this matchup to get themselves to believe that they can do it again, pull off a big upset.
Marcel Reed and the Aggies a virtual bye. Iron Bowl, Alabama, big favorite on the road against Auburn. Got to win to get the SEC championship. A crucial game for them. We've seen some strange things happen in Jordan-Hare over the years.
It almost seems like whoever has everything to lose better be ready. And that means it's Alabama on the road, and Jordan-Hare cannot wait to get down there next Saturday night. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, Ty Simpson, the offense playing at a very high level, but again, the unpredictability of that venue and that rivalry. And then you got the Egg Bowl. All the talk at Ole Miss about Lane Kiffin. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? The announcement comes after that game. Got to be careful of that one if you're the Rebels.
Yeah, I talked with him earlier today just about that very thing, and he is zeroed in on that aspect of this craziness that's going on, the noise that's going around his program and him. He's trying to keep them locked in on trying to get ready and making sure that the players know that's his full focus, is trying to get ready for a very dangerous Mississippi State offense, especially.
Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you next weekend in the SEC.
More fervently, Diego Pavia. Lights out on Saturday against Kentucky. Heisman hopeful lit it up for number 14 Vanderbilt, completing 33 of his 39 passes for 484 yards, 5 scores. Pavia also ran for 48 and another score against the Wildcats as he led his squad to a 45-17 win. Pavia and the Doors will now turn their attention to their biggest rivalry, number 20 Tennessee.
It's rivalry weekend at the FCS level. Playoff spots up for grabs. We'll start with the rivalry. Lehigh Lafayette, first play of the second half. Mountain Hawks down 3. Luke Yoder picked a good day to have a good day. 80-yard touchdown. He had 4 on the day. Ran for 234. Number 4, Lehigh wins by 10. Patriot League champs back-to-back years. It's now time for a Harvard alum to say nice things about the game.
Oh,
Trev?
boy. From the rivalry to the game. Daddy Reno and Dante Reno. Father-son, head coach, quarterback tandem, unfortunately found a way to get off this Saturday. Absolutely went crazy. Reno to Jackson Santiago for the score, and then Reno airs one out to Nico Brown. That is a 64-yard trip to the crib. Good Lord. 4th straight win for the Bulldogs against Harvard. This is paining me to say. Yale clinches the Ivy League's first ever auto bid into the FCS playoffs.
Crimson will get at large. So will the guy who finishes on the wrong side of the brawl of the Wild, Montana State, Montana, 2 top 3 teams in the FCS. Caden Dowler with Montana State down 4, 34-yard pick 6. This is the highest ranking matchup in 124 all-time meetings between these two teams on both sides of the Great Divide. Early 4th quarter, Montana State still up 3. Justin Lamson, Stanford transfer, keeps it. He had 175 through the air, 80 more on the ground. Montana State wins by 3 and wins the Big Sky Conference for a 2nd straight year. They have an automatic spot in the playoffs.
Let's get to the MEAC. South Carolina State, Delaware State. No score after the first quarter. In the first quarter, Delaware State, 3rd and 22. Caden Bennett, all day to throw. Eventually rolls to his right and gets picked off. Jalen Levine returns at 33 yards for the touchdown. Bulldogs get on the board. 7-0. 4 minutes left in the third now. South Carolina State, 2nd and 2. William Atkins, the fourth, deep down the right sideline. Johnny Jones on the receiving end of that one. 52-yard trip to the crib. South Carolina State wins at 28-17. They win the MEAC for the 20th time, a record.
South Dakota State visiting North Dakota. Got to have a game for the Jackrabbits. Thankfully, Jackrabbits are famous for their ability to multiply. In OT, Jack Henry on the run to Graham Gorig, and that is your game winner. South Dakota State ends a 4-game losing streak in Grand Forks in OT. Now they wait for Selection Sunday to learn their playoff fate.
As the college football regular season winds on down, see which teams helped and hurt their case for making the college football playoff. That's when SportsCenter continues. Big Ten brought us the top 15 matchup of the day at Autzen Stadium. Number 7 Ducks looking to reassert themselves as one of the upper echelon teams in college football, hosting the number 15 Trojans. Marcus Mariota, game day picker and on hand. Pick it up early second, tied at 14. USC punting it away. But Malik Benson's going to take this one right back to that end zone.
Tracker's bad news
I'm
for
trying
USC.
to tell you, as soon as you start to hear that tick going, yeah, house call. 85 yards later, that's 7 more on the board. Ducks take a 21-14 lead. Under 8 minutes left in the first half. Jaden Mayaba looking for his receiver down the seam. However, he finds Ife Obudegwu. That is a pick. Ducks get the ball right back on that third down. On the ensuing drive, we're showing love to a senior. Bryce Betcher on senior day had 2 other defensive players in the backfield with him. Scores his first career touchdown. Oregon up 28-14 at the half. Early third quarter action, 1st and 10. Dante Moore zipping it over the middle. Pass is tipped, then intercepted by Kennedy Urlacher. Yes, that Urlacher, his son. Oregon fans. Yeah, it's about that time, Phil. Sorry for you, bro. 3rd and 3 on the ensuing drive. Jordan Mayava finds Makai Lemon, and that was a heck of a catch. One of his 2 receiving touchdowns on the day. Also threw one. Under 3 minutes left in the third. Moore going up top. The big tight end, Kenyon Sadiq, monster of a man. 2nd touchdown of the day. Oregon takes another 14-point lead after the third. Under 6 minutes left now in the 4th frame. Oregon up 8. And Noah Whittington had himself a day, 104 yards total. Ducks win 42-27, earned that win. And head coach Dan Lanning wants to make sure y'all know that too.
I think proof's in the pudding, right? Played a good team, we beat them, right? All we can do next week is try to do the same thing, right? And this conference is a really good conference. It's competitive, right? We didn't play Chattanooga State today, right? Like some other places, right? We competed. So, you know, that being said, it's tough playing 9 conference games. It's tough playing in this league. And we got to take advantage of playing a good team today and attacking that.
Mind you, he used to be the D coordinator at Georgia.
Yeah.
Right? But just want to put that out there. Oregon virtually a lot to make the college football playoff, but the Ducks will need a win next week at Washington and an Ohio State loss at Michigan for a spot in the Big Ten title game.
Yeah, classic Big Ten rivalry there. Similarly, former Big 12 rivals linking up under an SEC banner, heavy playoff stakes as Mizzou visits Norman. Sooners haven't lost at home to Mizzou since 1966. That was the Big 8 back then. Second quarter, Sooners down 3-0, not exactly scoring position, but nobody told that to Isaiah Satania III. 87 yards, longest offensive play for OU this season. That accounted for more than half of John Mateer's pass yards Saturday. It's 7-3 Sooners. Next possession, another third down. Mateer this time moves the sticks with his legs. 15-yard gain. He had a game-high 60 yards. Next play, Mateer only completed 47% of his passes, but it was the right 47%. Giovanni Gibson touchdown. It's 14-6 at the half. Late third quarter, now 17-6. Bo Pribula missed the last 2 games with a dislocated ankle. He had a rough day. Picked off by Jacoby Johnson. Third straight game that the Sooners had multiple takeaways. Next Mizzou series, Pribula sacked. Mizzou going in the wrong direction, and that was thematic. 2 plays later, 3rd and 13. Mizzou was 3-for-15 on third down. Pribula sacked 4 times. OU, 41 sacks on the season, most for them in 17 years. Rough day for the Mizzou offense. Oklahoma wins. ESPN Analytics says they have a 75% chance to make the CFP. So Saturday, the Sooners' FBS best, 5th win over ranked opponent. They can't extend that next week against unranked LSU, but again, ESPN Analytics sees next week as a virtual playoff play-in. A win over the Bayou Bengals. OU's got a 99% shot at the playoffs if you round up. 19% per our graphic with a loss. Though the ACC this Saturday did have a must-win.
Do you feel like this is a must-win for this team when it comes to something different?
Absolutely not. It is not an ACC game. I'm glad you brought that up. It is not an ACC game. I gladly get beat 103 or 110 to 10 in that game. They can put 100 up on us as long as we win the next 2 after that.
Okay, they didn't. Came close, but didn't.
Notre Dame almost did.
Right, that's what I was referring to. Sorry. Notre Dame didn't. The Pitt Panthers tried to hang about 100 on Georgia Tech early on in this one in Atlanta. We are in must-win territory for Coach Dews and 8 minutes left in the first and 10 for Pitt. Mason Heinschel scrambling, heaving down the field to Kenny Johnson. Panthers up 7-0. Later in the game, 1st and 15. Heinschel faking the handoff. Middle, finding Justin Holmes. That's 7 more on the board. Pitt's rolling. 12 minutes left.
Were they playing make it, take it?
I'm telling you. 0 possessions apparently for the Rambling Wreck. It's now 28-0. ACC teams 0-340 in the last 20 seasons when trailing by 28 or more. 1 minute to go. King finding Isaiah Canyon in the back of the end zone. Georgia Tech gets it within 14 at the break, but in the third quarter now, 6 minutes left. Same score, 3rd and goal. King under pressure. You think you're about to go on to bring it into a 1-score game, but it's a 14-point swing the other way. Pick 6, Braylon Lovelace showing no love. 100 yards later, it's a 35-14 game in favor of the Panthers. 5 minutes left in the fourth now. Georgia Tech down 14. King finding Canyon again in the back of the end zone. Fancy footwork gives the Jackets 7 more. 3 minutes to go, same score. Handoff to Jakiri and Turner. Creased.
Yep.
We'll holler at y'all later. 56 yards later, he's at the house call. Pitt wins 42-28. Coach Dews, what you got for the boys?
That was a good team a week ago, but we moved on and faced another good football team and finished on the road. It's even harder to do that. So, that's the kind of start I expect to have every week. And, I would love to finish a little bit better than we did, but, 14-point win on the road against a top 16 team or whatever they were. It's a heck of a job by our football team.
So who is going to take that trip to Charlotte to play in Bank of America Stadium for the ACC Championship? Entering the last week of the regular season, Tech barely hanging on with a 1% chance to reach that title game. For SMU and Virginia, it's pretty simple. Win and you're in. SMU goes to Cal, who dropped 1 to Stanford today, while Virginia hosts Virginia Tech.
You must SC the best finish of Saturday. I defy you to find something that beats the D2 playoffs first round. Benedict College against Wingate. 3 seconds left. Benedict down 5. 4th and 10 from their own 14.
Oh, stop
Full
it.
Phillip Rivers purgatory. Jackson Jensen to Charles Simmons. Crossfield to Malik Mullins. Never works except when it does. 86-yard walk-off touchdown. That's more than a must SC. That's a must listen to. Here's how the walk-off winner sounded for Benedict College.
Oh my goodness! Benedict has scored! Benedict has scored! Insanity!
Especially insane. They were down 24-0. That capped 25 unanswered for Benedict to advance in the D2 playoffs. Top seed.
Phil and Trev still here with you. Big 12 proven to be one of the feistiest conferences in college football, as exhibited by this K-State-Utah game in Salt Lake City. Utes trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, but Joe Jackson is trying to shatter them. Perfect rep of